Hi everybody, and welcome to Freebie Friday here on NLF Live. I'm Paul Brennan. I think you've seen me now a couple times doing some of these, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today on Freebie Friday about what is a motion to suppress. You may hear people talking about it. You may hear your lawyers talking about it. Lawyers like to call it 1538.5 motions, but to the rest of the real world, it's commonly referred to as a motion to suppress. So what is it, and why should you look into doing one if you are unfortunately arrested and prosecuted in a criminal court? So let's say you are, as I mentioned, arrested, you're charged with a crime. And in the course of that crime, the police recover evidence from you, from your person, or from your room, or even your car. And in addition to that, maybe they get some statements out of you. You say things in their presence that they want to use in the case against you in court. Is there anything you can do about it? And the answer is yes. You'll want your lawyer to look at the police report very closely for problems with the stop, problems with the arrest. So basically, a motion to suppress can be brought in a number of instances. The most common are either because the original detention was improper. Police didn't have a reason or legal basis to detain you. Another area that a motion to suppress is used is when your arrest is unlawful. The final common area for these motions are your search, the search of your person, the search of your house, your car, what have you, was done illegally as well. And so what are you looking to suppress when you file motions to suppress? Well, the answer hopefully is somewhat obvious. You want to have the court rule that things that the police took from you, that they recovered during a search of you or your property or your car, can't be used against you in the criminal case. Likewise, if the motion to suppress is granted, any statements you made, which can be huge, cannot be used against you. If, again, the court agrees with you and grants your motion to suppress. So what happens? What do police do wrong in those situations that I've described, which would cause you to file a motion to suppress and hopefully prevail? Let's talk about detentions first. You know, if the police stop you and they want to question you and they're doing an investigation, if that detention was improper, if they didn't have a legal basis to stop you and talk to you, if the detention is improper, any subsequent arrest is going to be improper. And again, when you bring the motion to suppress, statements you make, items recovered, evidence, literally, evidence that's recovered gets suppressed and can't be used against you. Police have to have a reason. It's not a huge standard, a burden of proof rather, but they do have to have a legal reason to detain you. And, you know, I tell clients all the time, if you're walking along the street and a police officer says, hey, you know, can I talk to you? You're actually free to say no and keep walking. And if there isn't a legal basis for that officer to detain you, if he or she does that, there can be problems with that detention such that a motion to suppress will be filed. What about an arrest? Let's say the detention was proper, but the arrest was unlawful. You know, police officers need to have probable cause to arrest somebody. And if they don't have probable cause, if they make a decision to arrest you that is ultimately not found to be legally doesn't meet the basis for probable cause, well, guess what? The arrest is unlawful, illegal. And anything you say from that point forward, anything they find from that point forward, guns, drugs, money, whatever, is going to be suppressed if, in fact, the arrest was illegal. Finally, what about the search? What if, let's say, the detention was lawful, even the arrest was lawful, but for some reason the search was illegal? And I'll use an example. When you get arrested, police officers are allowed to search your body, basically your person, after they've handcuffed you. If they're going to transport you to the police station, it's basically for their protection and, you know, even for yours as well. Just a quick pat search of your pockets, make sure there's no weapons, anything that could harm the officers or you. And that search, again, they call it a search incident to arrest. It's pretty much limited to just you and your person. So if they're doing a search incident to arrest, but they go beyond your person, they start to look around your room and they find something in your room where you were arrested, but it really wasn't a search incident to arrest because it's not within arm's reach, let's say, and they didn't have a warrant to search the room, well, anything they find that they claim is search incident to arrest, that would be suppressed. It's an unlawful or illegal search incident to arrest because it went beyond the parameters of a proper search. And I neglected to mention at the outset, obviously if police officers have a search warrant, that's a different situation. A search warrant is a request by law enforcement to a judge to say, hey judge, give us permission to search the following person, their place of business, their house, their car, what have you. But they have to very specifically articulate what they want to search, where they want to search. And once they have that document in hand, they can do that. But if they exceed the parameters of that document, so if they have a search warrant that allows them to search an individual and his house, and in the course of doing that, they go outside and just decide on their own to search the car in the driveway, well, if the car is not in that warrant, that's a problem. Anything that's found in the car exceeds the parameters of the warrant, would be subject to a motion to suppress, assuming, of course, that motion gets granted. Any evidence from that car can't be used against you. So, bottom line, police officers have to have an arrest, or they have to have a warrant if they want to search you. If they don't have a warrant, they have to have a lawful base to search you, meaning a valid detention, a lawful arrest, a lawful search incident to arrest. If they don't have those things, if those boxes aren't met on the checklist, if you will, of a legal detention, legal arrest, legal search, things that come from that, and you'll hear this expression, fruit of the poisonous tree. Fruit of the poisonous tree really refers to what things, what items the police found during an illegal or improper search. So again, drugs, guns, money, but it also includes statements. Anything you say after an illegal arrest or illegal detention or illegal search can't be used against you. So you can imagine, if you haven't figured out already, that these are powerful tools that you want to use in a case. You'll want your lawyer to look carefully at the police report, and not just the police report, but go beyond the police report to make sure that everything was done legally and validly, because if it wasn't and things start getting suppressed, it could be, and I'll talk about that in a second, but it could be the end of the case for the DA, in which case against you is dismissed. The reason why I said could be is there may be an instance where police officers improperly detain you or improperly arrest you or improperly search you, and you are successful in bringing a motion to suppress and have items and statements that the law enforcement recovered, you have those things suppressed. There may be instances in which the prosecuting, the DA's office can still go forward with the case against you with other evidentiary items. It just means that the motion to suppress against those items, once it's granted, those items cannot be used against you as evidence in a prosecution. More often than not, but not always, more often than not, if you are successful in a motion to suppress, the things that you get suppressed are so critical to the DA's case against you that being successful with your motion effectively gets rid of the case against you. So you really want to have your lawyer look closely at everything in the police report, and where warranted, absolutely file a motion to suppress and hopefully get those things that the police weren't entitled to have in the first place, have them kicked out of your case. Have a great Friday, everyone, and we'll talk to you again on Monday.